Glory to Jesus Christ. Thank you for being here today. For people that watch us through YouTube, today we have cold, really cold here on Long Island, and it was challenge to come here, but you have courage to be present here, and
Either that or we're crazy.
Word of God, and hunger for knowledge. It's more than this terrible weather that we have outside. So we continue our topic, and with Antioch, it was only one lesson, because I thought that I don't want to make you suffer too much. I would like to be, more, how does it say, more. Okay, so only one. But when we started Alessandria, I really realized that we cannot jump, and jump and jump and leave behind so many interesting things. We have to touch, more things, discuss more things to understand better. It's like, digestion. You add something and you need time to digest. You need time, and the same is here. You cannot only put it in your stomach and run. It's not fast food. We here on foundation. We here on the roots of formation of Christianity, and also on formation of Christian theology, Eastern and Western also. So we continue with Alessandria. Please be patient. And today we finally will speak about not philosophy, but about Bible. About philosophy, I only would like to bring you back to remind you that Alessandria, it's very significant place because represents this union, this meeting, that encounter between Christianity and ancient Greek inheritance. Most of all we speak about philosophy, but about culture generally. Only for remind you, Christians, when they discovered philosophy for them, this Greek wisdom, ancient Greek wisdom, they were surprised because many things that they accepted through faith, through revelation, they found in this wisdom, that many things were achieved by human mind, and they took a lot from philosophy, conceptions, ideas, terminology, but also people from Greek world that were part of this inheritance, meeting Christianity, gospel, they were surprised, confused, and for them it was really revelation that everything that they try to achieve by mind, this truth was there, revealed by God, alive, not only theoretical but alive. And Alexandria is this union, is this meeting. It's not only Alexandria, it was happening in whole empire, but this place probably, represents this process better. And it happened with Christianity, but also I would like to mention, only for enrich your knowledge, that the same process went through Judaism. For example, this diaspora, Judaic diaspora in Alexandria that was pretty big, also met this inheritance of Plato, Pythagoras, and generally philosophy, and also I could say the spirit of this Greek ancient wisdom entered in Savain Judaism in some very important representatives. For example, it's not our topic. I don't want to speak too much about this. Only for let you know that was one Jewish philosopher Philo, in Philo of Alexandria. He passed away in 50 after Christ. So he lived right in this time. He belonged to the same generation of Christ, and he was rabbi, he was Jewish, but also he was in love with Greek philosophy, and he retaught, Torah revelation in light of Greek philosophy. And he also left many comments of Old Testament books in light of, most of all, Plato teaching, but also in Stoicism or Pythagoreanism, and it's also this allegory that a lot is, abundant, richly present in his writings. So, but we come back to Christianity, and last time I offered you this example of allegory in Greek philosophy. Most of all, it's Plato that, that this philosopher that is more rich to allegories, because allegory for him is the best way to express invisible world and the real world. And Christianity accepted this way with love, because it was the same approach. The spiritual world, God, and everything about invisible, we express always using visible. And it began with prophets in Old Testament. So I offered you these two examples of chariot and the cave from philosophy of Plato, how he wanted to speak about invisible, spiritual, real, using images of this world. But it's not Plato that really unique, that offered this way to speak about invisible, because we have it in Bible, and it's why I would like to speak about today. So, first, prophets and generally Torah. We can stuck here for years and comment, for example, book of Genesis, verset by verset, how does it say, opening the meaning of every word, of every sentence, because it's big allegory, but only some idea. The garden, paradise, where was Adam. There's fruit, not apple. It was not apple. Please don't think about apple. It's a European tradition that described apple like this fruit, but Bible mentioned about fruit. Trees, serpent. Also inside of Judaism, and in eyes of, in rights, better say, of father of the church, all this, it's big allegory. How to describe invisible, how to describe never experienced, only using images that are close to us and we can understand. Fruit tree, garden, animals, serpent. It's something that we could compare with our reality and say, oh, this is good, oh, this is bad. Because in my world, in my life, this brings me association of good and this of bad. Serpent, for example, dangerous, that comes invisibly, sometimes hidden, and bites me, bring death. And also, you can imagine the climate of Judea that was pretty hot, the desert of Egypt, and understand that garden, it's something very, very blessed, and fruits. So after this idea of revelation goes to prophets. Because who is the prophet? Prophet is a person in Old Testament that had very special mission. Be between visible and invisible. Be between spiritual and material. And be between God and his angels and humanity. Prophet always belonged to this reality, to this world. Prophet always was man, but prophet, terrible wind that we have, prophet was called to leave this world in different ways. It was differently with different people, sometimes in dreams, sometimes in visions, sometimes in very special mystical experience, sometimes, like in case of Moses, directly he spoke with God face by face, but leave this world and enter inside of spiritual, and after get there some knowledge, some message, and bring this back to our world. But the problem was this, that every prophet had to in some way transfer spiritual in material, transfer this experience of mystical in some images that people that he has to bring them this message can understand him. And here also appeared allegory. It's different with different prophets, but I would like to say something general. You know, we don't speak about everyone. Of course, Isaiah is very rich by different images that realized in Christ. We have spoken a little bit in the beginning of our meetings about prophecies of Messiah. And many another, but the main idea is transfer the true from spiritual to material. And it already is in Old Testament, in prophets, in Torah. But probably the fulfillment of this, the full realization, we can meet in New Testament and in Christ. Like I said, Plato lived before Christ, 4 centuries before Christ. But we, like Christians, we accept this way to comment Holy Bible using allegory, not from Plato. Plato came later. He lived before, but he came later in life of the church. And here we could mention about Origen one more time, that passed away 253, so it's 2nd, 3rd century that Christianity discovered allegory inherited by ancient Greek philosophy. But where we have it? We have it in Christ. And from Christ. In this moment, I would like to bring you to Bible and to Gospel of St. Matthew. And one more time I can repeat that my goal is not study every place in Bible for for have perfect knowledge about this. We try to open this topic for us and understand, and we use some examples. everything that you want more, please go by yourself and try to open this more and more and go deeper and deeper. So, Christ spoke in parables. I am in Gospel of Matthew and it's chapter 13. All this Jesus said to the crowds in parables. Indeed, he said nothing to them without a parable. This was to fulfill what was spoken by prophet. You see, spoken by prophet. I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter what has been hidden since the foundation of the world. Speaking in parables, Christ reveals something that was hidden from beginning of the world, from foundation of the world. And here, when we say parable, we can easily replace this word with allegory, because parable from Christ is the same allegory. For example, parable of the sower. We know this. Yeah, I don't need to read this parable. It's allegory. A sower, a farmer, go to his field, throwing seeds in ground with hope to get harvest after. And this is image very familiar to all nations that work on earth, agriculture, farmer, harvest. But Christ put another meaning there. Let's see what Christ said about parable. Then the disciples came and said to him, "Why do you speak to them in parables?" And he answered them, "To you it has been given to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given. For to him who has will more be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who has not, even what he has will be taken away. This is why I speak to them in parables, because seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand. With them indeed is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which says, You shall indeed hear, but never understand, and you shall indeed see, but never perceive. For this people's heart has grown dull, and their ears are heavy of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest they should perceive with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and turn for me to heal them." It's a little bit, too much, but I will pull your attention to couple moments. So, to you it has been given to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven. Secrets of the kingdom of heaven. And what Christ did, he used images, he used symbols, he used examples from this world in which we live, in which lived his generation, using culture, using everyday life, using something that is very familiar to people, their lives, examples from their lives, to open the secrets of the kingdom of heaven. Secrets of the kingdom of heaven. And now, to understand better, also I would like to say that we have in our liturgical year one gospel, one Sunday, dedicated to a blind man, but born blind. So from beginning of his life, he didn't see nothing. He was blind from the first day of his existence on earth. And Christ brought him back this capacity to see. He gave him this gift to see. And born blind, in this gospel, in tradition of that Sunday dedicated to this man, also a symbol of man. What does it mean, born blind? Some people become blind because of some health issues, some health problems, some car accidents, whatever. Something happened, and I saw and I cannot see anymore. But if you speak with these people, they have memory. They have memory from seeing before. And they use this memory that they experienced by through their eyes to imagine another people and another places or realities or objects that they meet being blind. It's like I apply the image from my memory to something that I take. For example, I cannot see an apple because I'm blind, but I saw many apples before. I know that they could be green, they could be yellow, they could be red, different forms, but I apply my memory of apple to this apple that I am like a blind, keep in my hand, and I know what I have here because I have experience of apple before. The same with people. I saw different people with different appearance, different ethnical origins, and another. But if I'm blind and I see someone and I ask, where are you from? And this person answered me, I am from Kenya, I am from Ghana. So I can apply to this person image of some African person that I met before. I know that the color of skin of this person will be black. Or someone answers me, my parents from Italy. So I could apply also my experience of Italy, Italian people, to this person to understand who is here in front of me without see him or her. Do you understand me? But blind, born blind, is different. This person never had experience of nothing by eyes. No images here. No experience, nothing. It's tabula rasa. It's empty tablet. And born blind man, it's me in front of spiritual world. Only Adam and Eve, they had experience of spiritual reality. But we, their sons and daughters, in I don't know which generation, we born here in this reality, in limited world, in the reality of space and time, in this cave, using Plato, in this prison. And everything that we experience is this world. The things of this world, each other, in bodies. So, only through faith, only through spiritual experience, we can touch spiritual world. But through allegory, we can get closer. Because what is allegory? What is parable? It's about secrets of kingdom of heaven, like said Christ. It's about hidden from foundation of the world. It's about eternal and spiritual, but through using images of our world to help us not to see but get closer, understand, approach to this, for have experience of this symbol. So next moment, secrets of the kingdom of heaven. Next, what appeared here in prophecy of Isaiah. Lest they should perceive with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their hearts and turn for me to heal them. You see, they accept through ears and eyes. We see a symbol, we see an image, we listen, we hear parable, we hear story, allegorical story, but understanding comes inside of our hearts. And also it's when Holy Bible says heart, it's also allegory and it's also symbol, because Holy Bible use human body for speak about spiritual nature of us. Understand with their hearts. Understanding comes by heart. And how it's possible? So bodily heart is the symbol of spiritual heart, and according to this Bible anthropology, understand by heart means experience and accept. And in this way, knowledge, something that goes after understanding. But in Bible, many times we can meet situation when Bible says, and I don't know how to translate it in English. I didn't prepare this. Sorry, I don't read by some text prepared before. It's all the speech it's from my mind and my heart. But relationship between man and woman very often in Bible described like knowledge of each other. Like Adam knew Eve. I don't know. Abraham knew who? Sarah. Knew. Not went in bed with. No had sex. No. Knew. Because to have knowledge of each other, it's not, I don't know, read the resume of wife. It's be together. And also through this physical connection, through marriage, to fulfillment of marriage. Man knew her woman, husband knew her wife, and it's about, we use now different words. We use different words, and probably more easy to understand physical relationship, sex. But in Bible, it's not physical relationship, it's not pleasure, it's not sex, no. It's knowledge of each other, it's union and experience of each other. This is marriage, this is relationship. And acceptance of each other. So, according to Bible, if I understand something by mind, it means that this knowledge that I have is not part of me. It's only theoretical knowledge. For example, imagine a shell in your, I don't know, office, living room with many books. There are many of them there. Do you live according to every of this book? No. You read them, you put them on shelf. But have understanding by heart, it means accept this, experience this, and make part of own life. Like heart brings blood inside of body, creates the circulation of blood, and from one center, blood, like symbol of life in Bible, blood symbolizes soul of body, life, and from one center, life goes in every part of body. The same way, when I accept spiritually by heart something, God, I experience God, and God becomes part of my life. Do you understand me? Yeah? Another allegory. Physical body is allegory of spiritual man, about our spiritual nature. And function of heart inside of body brings life, brings blood to every member. If, for example, blood, if you, it happens pretty often during war or some accidents, when one member of body is wounded and you have to, how you say it, fix with something, I don't know how to say it in English.
Bandage or wrap off.
Yes, bandage, for not lose whole blood from this wounded member, and save it inside of a body. But this part is dying without blood, and must be fixed, and bandage must be taken away for make blood go. And sometimes you sleep during night, you sleep on your hand, and you stop to feel your hand. Do you have this experience? Because you stop, I don't know how to say it, sorry, you understand me, hopefully. You, with your hand, you stop the circulation of blood inside of your hand, and you need to take it from your hand and make blood come back. So what the member of body without blood is dying. So heart, physical heart, is the center that brings life in every part of our bodies. The same spiritually, heart is the center of my spiritual life. Accept in heart means make part of my life. Bring it to every aspect of my life. Not only put on shell one of shells inside of my head. Like, there is this teaching, there is that teaching, there is this ideology, that ideology. I know them good, all of them. They hear, I can discuss, I understand, but I don't live according to them. They don't touch my life, they don't enter in my life. I don't have, there's this quote here, I didn't prepare this, but I remind that in book of Deuteronomy, how you say it in English? Deuteronomy?
Deuteronomy.
Yes, exactly, Deuteronomy. When God speaks, it's probably 6 or 8 chapter, maybe I will be able to find it right now. When God speaks with his people to Moses, and he give them command, this Shema Israel, what people of Israel, Jews pray right now. Shema Israel, listen Israel, God is speaking with you. Wait. I don't want to start to read this before check, because some translations, it's here. Some translations bring wrong idea, damaging the real text. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart. Love your God with all your heart. So it means that 100% in every aspect of your life. Not only I love God on Sunday 1 hour from 10:30, 1 hour and a half, from 10:30 to 12. Or I love God only Saturday evening from 4:45 to 6. No, I love God also when I leave church and come back home. I love God not only when it's reasonable and I need something from Him or I feel good, but also when I go through some challenge of my life. It's Deuteronomy 6, chapter 6. Love with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might, and be attentive here. And these words which I command you this day shall be upon your heart. Some another translation, it could be put my words upon your heart, or in your hearts. And you see, don't remember these words. God didn't say this. Don't write them down, write them down and read. No. But this day you shall, this day shall be, one more time, sorry. And these words which I command you this day shall be upon your hearts. Upon your hearts. My commandments shall be upon your hearts. It means that my commandments, and if you know the idea of all commandments of God in Old Testament, they all cover entire human life, every aspect of life, work, marriage, neighbors, private life, weekday life, feast life, sacrifices, spiritual life, everything. Commandments of Moses 613, this number from classic understanding of law of Moses. What I say this because some of them they cannot keep anymore because temple does not exist. But the idea is that they have 613 commandments that enter in every aspect of human life. And God said to his sons, to sons of Israel, Hear, O Israel, Shema Israel, listen Israel, put my words, my commandments upon your heart. Make it part of your life. Okay? You understand this? Not mind, but heart. And the same here when we have in words of Christ. Christ brought to his disciples the quote from Isaiah, lest they should perceive with their eyes and hear with their ears, allegory, image, parable, ears and eyes, but understand with their hearts. The understanding of hidden from foundation of world, the understanding of secrets of the kingdom of heaven should be part of our lives. Through allegory, through material, we accept spiritual. Better say we experience spiritual. And this is about hearts, not about mind. So, for example, one more time about mind and heart. So mind, it's I don't know, it's Wikipedia, it's Google. I would like to know something, I go there, very quick information about everything, and I have an idea of something, of some ideology, of some teaching, of some person, of some book. But knowledge by heart is it's experience and acceptance, like marriage. Experience and acceptance. And I cannot, experience and accept God through Google or through Wikipedia, only through my spiritual life. I live in this world, I live in the cave, in the prison. Everything that I experience belongs to this world. I'm born blind, but through allegory, through listening and looking through eyes and ears, like said Isaiah, I can get spiritual understanding of things that will touch my heart, will enter in my life and will be the part of my life. And after, turn for me to heal them. One more time. Lest they should perceive with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and turn for me to heal them. This experience of God, this understanding of real meaning of my life, of this world, to knowledge and experience of secrets from foundation of the world, of secrets of the kingdom of heaven, must direct my life to God, should change my life. Understand with their heart and turn for me to heal them. If I know God, I can bring you back one more time to beginning of our meetings. We discussed this probably during first meeting or second, that there is this part of spiritual life that we also live in liturgy. But about liturgy and allegory probably we will speak next time, because it's also a very big topic. We will touch it a little bit and could offer some few meetings only to speak about symbols of liturgy, discovering their meanings. But through allegory, through visible, we experience invisible. And after, we cannot live anymore like we lived before, with this experience and with this knowledge. If I know that my soul is eternal, I am eternal, and also in the resurrection of the last day I will get back my body. It will be different, but it will be body. If I know about God, about eternity, if I know all of this, if I have knowledge about world, true world, created by God and not damaged by people, or brought through some ideology, I cannot live like before. I have to change this life. If I don't do this, it means that gospel is not here, it's still here. It doesn't affect my life if I don't change my life accepting gospel. Or better say, if I don't try, because in every case, turn for me to heal them. It means when we experience spiritual, we still need Christ, we still need Messiah, because we cannot change our lives completely without Him. But we have to direct our lives to Him, for accept this healing from God. Do you understand me? Yeah? Okay. So, another examples from Christ. Only for remind you how many parables he offered to us. Parable of the sower, parable of the mustard seed. Do you remember this? I don't want to read them all because there are many. Parable of the leaven. Is it good pronunciation? Yeah. It's what we need for the bread. Yeah. What another? Parable of the weeds. Parable about the kingdom. Something another that I would like to say you, and it's important. Oh, parable of the great banquet. Parable of the lost sheep. Tomorrow with Vigil Liturgy on Sunday we will have another parable about prodigal son. It's also parable. It's allegory about invisible but expressed through visible. And when Christ, I marked for me some places, now I cannot find this. Echo, here. Many of his parables, of his allegories, Christ started with these words. The kingdom of heaven is like, and after he begins parable in another place. The kingdom of heaven is like, for example, is like a treasure hidden in a field. The kingdom of heaven is like leaven which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal. So, and here we have this. We have this key to understand. I'm not speaking with you about, treasure hidden in a field. I'm speaking with you about kingdom of heaven. You cannot understand kingdom of heaven because you don't have experience of this. You don't have this spiritual experience because you're part of this material world. Speaking with in terminology of Plato, you always lived inside of cave. You didn't see the sunlight. You cannot imagine this. You don't have experienced this. Speaking in terminology of Christians, you never have been in paradise. You was born here on earth. Your reality is this visible and material. So I am speaking with you about spiritual and invisible for help you through images enter in this experience and know what is this. And after, direct your life to this. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field. This is how works allegory, how works parable. Kingdom of heaven is like. So, get close to this image that is familiar to you, but use this like a step for, lift your soul, lift your mind, lift your heart to deeper spiritual understanding of things and experience this. Also, for finish today with this and be able to go forward. I said also parable of the great banquet. It's Gospel of Luke. Everything that was before was in Matthew. In Luke we have another parables: lost sheep, lost coin, great banquet, prodigal son. dishonest steward, and many another. But so we could say that allegory for us Christians, the source of it is Bible, not Plato. Plato lived before Christ, but was discovered by Christianity later. And what we have, it's Holy Bible, that also is big allegory. It's expression of invisible images. And here, I would like to offer in these few minutes that we have allegory from St. Paul. His letter to Galatians, it's 4th chapter. If you would like to check and read it home, it's verses from 21 to 31. And it's allegory of St. Paul of Hagar and Sarah. I could read this, it's couple verses, but you will see that also in writings of St. Paul, allegory is present and is used for say something more that could bring literal meaning. Okay, tell me, you who desire to be under law, do you know here the law? For it's written that Abraham had 2 sons, one by a slave and one by a free woman. But the son of the slave was born according to the flesh, and the son of the free woman to promise. Now, this is an allegory. These women are 2 covenants. One is from Mount Sinai, bearing children for slavery. She is Hagar. Now Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia. She corresponds to the present Jerusalem, for she is in slavery with her children. But the Jerusalem above is free, and she is our mother. Do you understand? So, St. Paul acts in Judaic environment. He is a Pharisee, he is rabbi, he is teacher of law, but he is Christian. And in the beginning, he directed his gospel to Jewish people. And after, when he was fed up with them, he went to pagans. And what he said, listen, Abraham had 2 sons. One from Hagar, Egyptian. She was slave, and she gave him son, Ismail. But this son was son of slave, and he could not inherit the richness of Abraham, and the covenant with God was not about him, because it was promised another one from free woman, from Sarah. Isaac, yeah, you say Isaac. And he was free. And now look, there are 2 covenants from God, Old Covenant and New Covenant. The Old Covenant, it's law of Moses, it's Judaism, it's slavery under the law, and it's represented, symbolized by Mount Sinai, and this is Israel, old Israel. But there is another son that is free, and this is Christianity, from the same Abraham, and we are part of New Covenant. We free by slavery of law, because we live according to grace of God. If you read St. Paul, you know probably this discussion, this comparison between law and grace, between slavery and freedom that he brings through his rights. And now this is allegory. Abraham, to his wives, to his women. One is free and one is a slave, and 2 sons from them. That symbolizes Israel and Christian church. Old Testament and New Testament. Slavery of the law and freedom of grace. Thank you very much for being here. I hope that you will get home with this weather without problem, and see you next week. Glory to Jesus Christ.
Lord,